Good morning. Here is today's word of blessings for you. Ephesians 2:8-10. For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Today's title is You Are God's Masterpiece. Why do people do foolish things such as lawless activities or self-destructive actions? One of the most fitting answers to the question is low self-esteem. People do crazy things not because they hate other people but because they hate themselves. They don't like who they are. The problems of low self-esteem among the new generation pose a serious threat not only to their own future but also to the future of our community. How is your self-esteem? How is your children's self-esteem? What concerns me as a father is that somehow our children are more widely exposed to the characters that look so grotesque through books, cartoons, games, and movies. They look so eccentric, scary, and offensive that I can hardly look those characters in the face. I am worried that our children might identify themselves with those odd-looking characters with more frequent exposure to those characters. We certainly don't want to think of ourselves more highly than who we really are. We all have ugly sides in us. But we don't want to denigrate and demonize ourselves either. In fact, it is not for us to judge ourselves. God is the ultimate judge who looks even into our hearts. God said that it is very good after He created everything including man. The original man surely looked good to God. But man has sinned against God. The sin might have disfigured us quite a bit inside out before God's eyes. But by grace, He restored and recreated us into the original image of God through Christ. That's the great part of the good news. Apostle Paul once confessed that he is the worst of sinners. Now he declares, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus." God's handiwork should be God's masterpiece that contains God's beauty, God's wisdom, and God's power. With the beauty, wisdom, and power, we are no more powerless creatures who look horrible before God and man but can do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. What do you say? Is it too wonderful to be true for you? That may be so if we are out of Jesus Christ. But if you are in Christ, that's exactly who you are. You are the handiwork of God. You are His masterpiece. Don't let anyone look down on you. Don't you look down on yourself, no matter how you look to the eyes of the world. You are God's masterpiece. Period.